Hey everybody, Chris Bazzelli here, and I'm going to try to talk about and explain the difference between hunger and satiety. So, hunger versus satiety. Well, first, hunger is that physiological drive to eat. It's that need that our body has to consume food or calories in order to survive. Similarly, appetite is something we've developed as we evolved or grown into this 21st century. And this is that eating because it's time, or we feel like it's something everyone else is doing, so we must be part of the group. It's eating because we want to, not because we need to. Satiety, on the other hand, this is that feeling after we've eaten. Typically, or the way I like to think about this, is the post-Thanksgiving meal. We've eaten more than we needed to, and now we're feeling full or overstuffed, and we don't know what to do with ourselves. That is satiety, or I like to think of it as satisfied. Satiation is that feeling or that state of satiety. This can last up to several hours, but both are driven by our brain and many different hormones throughout our body that we've learned about this week. And on the next slide, I plan to try to my best at explaining them. So, how do we turn on or turn off our hunger? Well, without going through all the different peptides, hormones, long, tough-sounding words this week, I decided to highlight and emphasize the ones directly involved with either provoking food intake or causing us to stop. So the ones highlighted in blue are called orexigenic, and those are the ones that are mainly involved with preempting or prompting us to eat. The ones highlighted in gray are called anexergenic, and those are the ones that help us stop or recognize when we're full. The first two, NPY and AGRP, those levels fall while food is consumed, thus no longer provoking or promoting food intake. As these levels are higher in obese and other chronic condition patients, this causes the condition to worsen or remain the same. Norepinephrine and serotonin are actually the opposite of one another. While norepinephrine serves to increase or promote particularly the intake of carbs, serotonin functions to stop the meal consumption. The next few hormones are particularly during digestion. Ghrelin is secreted by the duodenum. It's secreted by the stomach while food moves into the duodenum. CCK, on the other hand, is secreted by the duodenum, as well as peptide YY are both involved in stopping or halting food consumption. Lastly is our insulin, and this we've learned about in several other courses, but insulin, as we know, spikes particularly after a high carbohydrate heavy meal and then begins to lower or balance out post-meal. Diabetic patients or diabetic individuals often have trouble either secreting or even producing insulin, and that's what causes other chronic conditions such as obesity and metabolic diseases. Thanks for listening, guys. Hope you learned something. I know I did this week.